Ndo sisi hawa. Good morning and how are you doing? Welcome to Fixing the Nation. It's Friday. It's the final July, and we've decided, you know what, we can't end July like that at UVA in the studio. Why?
We
gotta
step out. Studio. We gotta be outside.
Gotta step out.
Gotta be outside.
Haya maisha mdogo wangu huyawezi. Raifu la kituristi.
Kituristi lazima tutembee.
Take it or leave it.
Tutembee maeneo, tuzuru. Tutembee Kenya. Tembea Kenya.
Nakwambia maisha ya kituristi, zingatia kodi.
Zingatia
mazingira.
Tuko kodi gani leo?
Na masihara.
Ini kaunti gani?
Tuko katika kaunti ya Taita Taveta. Hapa katika mbuga la wanyama la Tsavo. Magharibi. Si Tsavo nyingine. Tsavo Magharibi. Tsavo West. Hapa mali tulipo.
Maisha London.
Maisha London.
Ini kaunti zero.
Nakwambia county it's one of the 6. Mombasa is 1. Kilifi is 2. Kwale is 3. This should be 4.
Aya. Pale atwe Kibeti.
Ndio Taita Taveta na ndio Tana River iwe 5, Kwale Lamu iwe 6. Angalia kwa Kibeti. This should be county number 004.
Nitakubaya kahawa leo.
004. Hebu angalia tuone.
County.
Mombasa, Kilifi, Kwale, Taita Taveta, Tana River, Lamu.
Ai, kwani hawaandiki hapa? County number. Aya, hapa ni 006.
Tunamalizia na
ndio hii hapa.
1 2 3 alafu
4 5 6. Sijui hizo zingine ni gani lakini
so it should be Tana River 5, Lamu 6.
Sasa pale kuna Mombasa, kisha kuna Kwale, Kilifi, then Tana River,
Lamu then Taita Taveta,
then tunaingia Garissa.
Haya, ndio hiyo basi. Tuko namna hiyo. So we're in Taita Taveta County, Tsavo West National Park.
Yes.
This is the Maktau gate of the Tsavo West National Park. Tsavo is Kenya's largest national park. Then it was split into 2.
Okay.
Then it was split into 2, into East and West.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
East iko pande ile nyingine ya
barabara.
Yeah. West iko pande hii nyingine ya barabara. Pande hii na pande ile ni gani?
Kama unaenda Mombasa, upande wako wa lefti ni Tsavo East. Na sasa upande huu mwingine wa kulia ni Tsavo West.
Very good. Very good.
Ndio sasa hapa tulipofika. Lakini what has really shocked me about this entire experience is how long it took us to get here. I was telling you a bit earlier that maybe I have a very bad understanding of our map.
Of Kenya's geography.
Lazima niende pale nunue atlas niangalie tena because wow, it's been a very long journey, but a very good one. Other than of course the road that needs to be expanded. Like every time you're on that road, you're like, how are we still doing this? Yes.
Yeah. Mombasa Road just needs work to be done.
There's a lot of work to be done
because there's so many trucks, even after SGR. And you saw. Did you see the cargo train?
Oh yes.
And how many it carries? Can you imagine?
It was such
all
a long
those
line.
Trucks that would have been on the road? Each nini has like over 30 or 40 wagons.
Yes.
That's like 30 or 40 trucks off the road. And you still see the number of trucks still on the road.
There were so many trucks.
Yeah.
There's so many trucks. And you can tell the ones that are driving down to Mombasa are empty. And then the ones in Apanda zimejaza mizigo.
Yes.
And now the ones that are empty. And this is where road safety comes in. And NTSA and all of the stakeholders that need to be working on this is just how crazy some of those drivers are.
Yep.
And I don't want to, whatever the number plate of that, it was one of those fuel tankers. That was a crazy driver.
Heading down.
He had enough near misses. And this is with enough of those trucks. And we're all just observing. We're like, is this person okay?
What?
Enough near misses.
What? That is crazy.
Some dangerous driving.
And he's not the only one.
No.
On any day.
He's not the only one.
Yeah.
But also the experience of just seeing wildlife on the road. And we'll be telling you why we're in Taita Taveta today. Which is, again, squarely, kama unaona hii setup yenye tuko, you're like, wanafanya nini huko? What exactly is going on?
National Park na bado kuna screen nyuma yao.
Kuna screen.
What's happening? I mean, so what we have decided to do is we have decided to bring the president's speech to the animals. Because the next phase of Kenya's development cannot leave our critical stakeholders behind, and that's our wildlife. And so we are going to address, we have a meeting with representatives of the elephants, the lions,
the Big Five,
the buffaloes. They're all going to be joining us here from 7 a.m.
Yeah.
I think the lead elephant is called, there's a lead elephant that's coming. We had a meeting with them. So we are going basically to explain this to the animals.
Shamba la wanyama, animal farm, tumewakusanya wote.
Tumeleta wanyama wote, wanyama wa mbuga Kenya, wote watakuwa hapa, tutakuwa tukiwahutubia kwa niaba
ya
rais.
Ile speech
ya jana. Sasa sisi tunakuja hapa kufanya translation kwa wanyama wa pori.
Quick and fast.
Quick and fast.
We leave no one behind.
Kenya's next development cannot leave anyone behind.
It's all inclusive.
Whether you are human or animal.
But you know, all of the jokes aside, because it is an inclusive conversation that we need to be having. But we're in Taita Taveta because today is a very significant day. You know, when we talk about the people that are, giving service, service to country and service to the people, is we often forget our rangers. And there's a day that is set aside to celebrate them and appreciate the good work that they do, those that we have lost, and also the ones that are still in service. And today is World Ranger Day, which is again celebrated globally every July 31st to honor the work of park rangers and commemorate those injured or killed in the line of duty.
And just also getting to understand them and their environment.
Correct.
Right? So if you just think about rangers, what we see is the imagery of the guys in green and them holding some guns. And they're, either fighting poachers or they are, sterilizing animals to load them onto trucks to translocate them from one park to another. Those kind of things. Or receiving the bongo at the airport and taking it to the Mount Kenya. Those kind of things. But then we forget about the conservation is about an entire ecosystem. There are those that are, like protection officers for the animals, as would be armed. I can imagine that there would be many who are veterinary officers as well, right? So there'd be veterinary officers among the rangers. There'd be those that understand the ecology. So maybe people have gone to study things to do with environmental studies and understanding the ecology. So this particular bird, even birds are under KWS. Even the smallest squirrels that live in the parks.
Correct.
So just getting to understand, Hapa, the reason why these squirrels come here is because there is this, and the other.
Correct.
So let's conserve that environment for them so that we can conserve the squirrels. So I'm sure there are people who have studied those things and they are also part of KWS Rangers.
Correct.
So at 7 a.m., we will be joined by a group of them who will just be coming in to tell us, what do you do? What did you study? All right? Did you, are you like, a police officer in a KWS? Or is there more that we have? So we'll have a baraza from 7 a.m. with a group of KWS Rangers just going back and looking and understanding ranger work, conservation work. Do they feel it when animals die? Do they feel it when animals encroach into human settlements? Do they feel it when humans cross over into animal protected areas? And so on and so forth. And that's a big conversation that we ought to have. And so that we'll have a baraza with them. But then at 9 o'clock, we'll now talk to the bosses. Kenya Wildlife Service is under the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. The Cabinet Secretary, Rebecca Miano, will come. And also the Director General of the Kenya Wildlife Service, Professor Erastus Kanga, will also be here. Erastus Kanga is one of those that we're talking about. He has a PhD in natural resources.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
He has over 20 years experience in biodiversity, conservation, environmental science, and wildlife management.
Wow.
So he's not just somebody who's at KWS,
Yeah.
having been plucked from anywhere. He's actually a conservationist through training.
Correct.
And through practice, who has risen to the level of Director General of the Kenya Wildlife Service. So we'll speak to them, get to understand rangers, get to understand conservation.
Yeah.
And of course, we have to ask about
The elephants.
and our elephants.
Yeah.
And what happened.
It's, it's a conversation that's been had well over the years about one, encroachment, human wildlife conflict, and what measures are being taken to make sure that this conflict is reduced. Then you see 15 elephants dead, and even the circumstances that led to their death and the discovery of very poisonous component is something that we really need to interrogate. But you know what, I don't think I can be a ranger, Eric.
Why?
I have a soft heart.
So therefore?
Even a monkey would die and I would be in tears. I think I'd be in tears every day.
Then you're the best person to be a ranger.
You think so?
Yeah, because you're then wired to actually think of the welfare of that animal.
Of the animals.
As opposed to somebody who feels nothing for the animals. You know those guys, those boys who kick cats?
Yeah.
Take it. Now that one can't be a ranger.
That one cannot be a ranger. I would be crying every day. I have a very soft heart for animals. Really love animals, and I appreciate the men and women that are in service to protecting them and taking care of the ecosystem as it is. So today is a very, very big day, and happy World Rangers Day to all of the rangers across the world.
Happy to. Now, when the sun is rising, we will show you how the sun rises. In the Tsavo. Okay? And I am sure Jackso, our director, is constantly just peeping through to see where is the sun. When the sun rises, behind us, the rangers are already, doing the mock timing. They are changing shift at 6.
Oh, it's a change of
change of guard.
6 to 6.
Yes.
And I'm expecting like a very iconic Lion King moment when the sun is coming up from the hills, because it's very hilly. It just, there needs to be background music. Someone cue some good African drums.
Simba.
Simba. Exactly. Who was it? James Earl Jones. Exactly. You put in his voice over there and just make it a moment. But it's a very, very beautiful day from here to our fixers who've already checked in online. Karibuni sana.
Yes.
Our quote for the day is actually in line with service and those that find themselves in that line of work, and it's courtesy of Mahatma Gandhi. And the quote reads, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others."
Best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful quote.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful and famous quote.
Correct.
Very nice one. Tuingie kwenye magazeti.
Habari ndo hiyo.
Imba kama Simba ama kama Pumba. Awimbawe.
In the jungle. Tuingie pale kwa magazeti. Tuanze na Taifa Leo. Taifa Leo
kwa habari na makala
moto. Did you just give up in the middle of the Taifa Leo?
Tuingie kwenye Taifa Leo. Leo ni Jumaa. Siku ya mwisho ya mwezi wa Julai, tarehe 31. Tuangazie siku ya dondoza hapa na pale. Lakini kwanza, ukurasa wa kwanza. Ruto hatupati ngo. Sasa hao nani hao? Ni Kalonzo afichua kuwa rais amezidisha juhudi za kuwashawishi mmoja wa vigogo wa upinzani avuke hadi upande wake. So Ruto has been trying to break them apart. Na wanasema ngo.
Umtupati.
Katika kikao cha wanahabari akiwa pamoja na Sifuna jana, Kalonzo aliapa kuwa kamwe hawezi kuungana na Ruto, huku akiwaonya viongozi wenzake wa upinzani dhidi ya kukubali ushawishi wa rais, na atakayeenda kinyume awe tayari kukutana na hasira za raia 2027. It's a good one to see that. But as I was reading that, I remember Kalonzo saying, "I would be the greatest fool to work with Raila Odinga again."
Well, we all know how that went down.
We all know how it went. Ukurasa wa pili, Rais Ruto azindua ruwaza mpya, ahutubia taifa katika hafla ya kueleza maono ya muda mrefu ya maendeleo ya Kenya. Ukurasa wa 4, mbegu za kiume sasa zaundwa katika maabara. Wanaume wasioweza kutungisha kupewa suluhu ya kupata watoto. Sasa mbegu za kiume zitaundwa katika maabara. Unaenda pale unasema niongezeni ni kidogo hapa, kidogo hapa, kidogo hapa. Sasa sijui kama zinaingizwa kwenye mwili wa mwanaume ama zitakuwaje zako.
Pale kuna teknolojia na sayansi.
Teknolojia. Ukurasa wa 5. Jumwa ampa Ruto talaka nyingine tena. Waziri wa zamani atangaza kuhama UDA, fununu zikisema aelekea Linda Mwananchi. Taona kama tutaweza kumwangazia.
Mtu apatiwa talaka ngapi? 3.
Talaka. Haya. Ukurasa wa pili, Njogona Ndongo aanika Ruto. Huyo ni aliyekuwa waziri wa hazina ya kitaifa. Njogona Ndongo adai rais huendesha kila shughuli serikalini huku mawaziri wakimwogopa. Alafu ukurasa wa 3, ukimgusa unapoteza, usipomgusa unapoteza tu. Jinsi ilivyo vigumu zaidi kumngoa Kindiki katika kiti cha unaibu rais. Touch him you lose. Don't touch him you lose.
You lose. Damned if you do, damned if you
do, damned if you don't. Unaenda kumwona Bitaifa?
Pale tuna Bitaifa. Leo ameketi. Bitaifa leo ni mgeni wetu ni Mercy Karua, mkazi wa eneo la Lanet. Yeye ni mwanafunzi wa lugha ya ishara. Lugha ya ishara ni gani?
Lugha ya ishara ni sign language.
Sign language, okay. Ishara, uraibu wake ni kutazama filamu na kujumuika na marafiki.
Kutazama filamu, kujumuika na marafiki.
Kujumuika na marafiki pale.
Very nice. Sasa basi tuingie ukurasa wa 9 wa Taifa Leo. Dondoo za hapa na pale. Tuanza na Wazobonzo. Kuna jamaa moja hapa anaonekana ni mchuuzi wa matunda au kwenye soko lake, na haya matunda tunayoona hapa ni yale yanaitwa Evirangweti. Evirangweti. Wale watu kule Kisii wanaita hizi vitu Evirangweti.
Evirangweti ni lookworts.
Lookworts. Evirangweti. Okay. Sasa jamaa anaonekana hapa kiwaza akisema I say, kuona ni bure, kuonja ndio pesa. Hapa chap upate nguvu ya kupanga line 2027. Unanunua chap 2027 unaingia kwenye line, sawa? Evirangweti ndio anauza.
Evirangweti.
Nairobi jijini, akiri kuchoshwa na mke, apagawa na crush kazini. Mwanamume mmoja amejikuta kwenye njia panda baada ya kudai maisha yake ya kimapenzi na mkewe yamekuwa ya kuchosha, hali ambayo imekuwa ikijirudia kila wakati. Anasema penzi lao halina tena msisimko wala mawasiliano ya karibu kama zamani. Hali hiyo imeanza kumvuta kwa mfanyakazi mwenzake mpya ambaye anasema ni mrembo na mwenye mvuto zaidi.
Macho haya na pazia.
Kila siku wanapokutana kazini anahisi hisia zake zikizidi kukua, na sasa anaogopa huenda akasaliti ndoa yake. Ingawa bado anampenda mkewe na hataki kuivunja familia yao, anakiri kuwa mawazo ya kuwa na mwanamke mwingine yanazidi kumtesa. Anasikia, je, afuate hisia zake na kuhatarisha ndoa yake au atafute njia ya kufufua mapenzi yaliyopoa nyumbani? Hilo ndilo fumbo linalomsumbua, huku akihofia kufanya uamuzi ambao watakuja kujutia maisha yake yote. Hebu mshauri sasa Felarius.
Mimi namshauri aketi chini azingatie. What's at stake? What do you risk losing? Hapa inaweza kuwa tu ni crash tu, ni short lived. Lakini macho hayana pazia.
Walimba wakasema usiteme bigiji kwa karanga za kuonjeshwa.
Ndio hiyo.
Usiteme bigiji kwa karanga za kuonjeshwa. Narok Kusini, demu atema kigogo wa siasa kwa kuwapa kutumia gari lake kwa kampeni. Mwanadada mmoja hapa amejitenga na mwanasiasa limbukeni kutoka eneo hili, jamaa huyo alipoweka wazi kuwa atatumia gari la kipusa huyo vilivyo kwenye kampeni. Inasemekana kuwa tangu jamaa huyo atangaze anawania kiti cha kisiasa, mrembo alijitokeza na kuweka wazi kuwa atamuunga mkono kwa hali na mali. Okay? Kwa hali na
mali.
Basi hadi anyakue kiti. Hata hivyo, tetesi za hivi majuzi kutoka limbukeni zilimtia wasiwasi kidosho juzi, kwani alinunua gari lake hivi karibuni na hataki liharibike. Tutatumia gari hilo hadi ilikose kutambuliwa. Lilinunuliwa juzi. Nikishinda uchaguzi nitamnunulia jipya la kifahari, jamaa aliwaambia wafuasi wake. Matamshi haya yalimfikia mwanadada na akasema gari yake haitumiki kwa siasa. Nikisema hali na mali, si kusema mali yote. Hapana.
Hapa kulikuwa na terms and conditions.
Ulikuwa msemo tu. I mean, there are some things that you just say.
Yeah.
You know, just because it's a saying.
Just because I want to support you, but not because I mean it. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah. Twende Banana Kiambu. Hapa Polo ajuta kutafuna kuku na kifaranga chenye ujauzito. Atafuna kuku na kifaranga chenye ujauzito. Niseme tena? Hapana, acha nikwambie, furaha ya kusubiri mtoto wao wa kwanza imegeuka kuwa mzigo mzito kwa mwanaume mmoja baada ya siri ya kutisha kumwandama. Mpenzi wake anatarajiwa kujifungua siku yoyote, lakini moyoni amebeba jambo ambalo linaweza kusambaratisha familia yao kabla ya hata mtoto wao kuzaliwa. Anasema bila kutarajia aliishia kufanya mapenzi na mama wa mpenzi wake katika mazingira ambayo hawakuwahi kufikiria yangetokea. Tangu siku hiyo amekuwa akiishi kwa hofu na majuto makubwa, akihangaika iwapo afichue ukweli au anyamaze milele. Kila anapomwangalia mpenzi wake, dhamiri humsuta na kumkumbusha kosa analoamini linaweza kuharibu maisha yao ya watu wengi. Je, ukweli utamweka huru au utavunja uhusiano wao wakati ambao walipaswa kuwa wakijiandaa kumpokea mtoto wao?
Unaonaje? Kuna consequences.
Unaonaje wewe?
Hapa kuna consequences.
Akiri alichofanya?
Akiri.
Lakini mbona yeye, mbona mama, mbona kuku? Kuku yeye hana guilty.
Kuku naye pia jitokeze.
Kuku hana guilty.
Lakini kusambaratisha.
Kuku yeye
hana guilty.
Alirudi chakura kule nje.
Kuku naye huyu kuku si kuku, ni mwewe. Huyu ni mwewe. Aenda kumkulia kifaranga.
Sema gongewa na mamako. Hii ni noma. Hii ni noma. Ustaki ona. Ustaki ona.
Uko banana.
Machaji na manyonye. Ustaki ona. Hii nayo ni mwecheche. Subuki ya Nakuru aliyesusia kazi asahau na kuanika ujanja wake. Ilikuwa kicheko katika shule ya hapo Polo aliyefika huko akiwa na kitambaa cha kushikilia mkono alichodai uliumia aliposahau ujanja wake na kutoka chooni bila dalili ya maumivu. Inaarifiwa jamaa hufanya kazi kama mlinzi katika shule ya hapa, na hivi majuzi alikosa kufika kazini kwa siku kadhaa bila kuomba ruhusa. Mdosi alipotisha kumpiga kalamu, jamaa alilia. Alikuwa anauguza jeraha na akafika shuleni mkono wake mmoja ukiwa umeegezwa kifuani kwa kitambaa alichofunga hadi shingoni. Ona sasa, nimejikokota hadi huko. Niliteleza na kuumia bafuni nyumbani. Jamaa akasema, haya. Akakaa, akaingia kwenye choo, akatoka.
Akasahau alikuwa na maumivu.
Akasahau.
Majeraha yameisha all of a sudden.
Twende Kaptulo Sotik. Buda azimia kugundua mwanawe alifuja karo. Buda wa hapa Kaptulo Sotik alizimia kwa muda mfupi alipopata habari kuwa mwanawe hakufuzu chuo kikuu kama alivyodai. Kulingana na duru, Polo alimhadaa mzee kuwa anaendelea masomo chuoni na akawa anachukua pesa kila mara alizodai ni karo na za matumizi. Siku ya kufuzu, Polo aliwataka jamaa na marafiki wasisafiri hadi chuoni, akisema chuo hicho hakiruhusu watu wengi katika hafla hiyo. Msimamo wake ulitiliwa shaka na wengi, lakini hawakuwa na uhakika kuwa Jombi alicheza shere.
Pale sasa ametengeneza excuse kama zote. What do you expect?
Imagine. There's a limited number of people who can come. Kumbe jamaa hata hajui.
Pale heartbreaking.
Bana. Tumalize na Kalubandika.
Kalubandika.
Hebu tuambie Kalubandika.
Sasa wacha nifanye pale Zoom. So tunamwona Kalubandika ako pale. Ni kama ameenda kumuona rafiki yake. Rafiki yake Kalubandika anasoma gazeti, lakini hiyo gazeti iko upside down. Sijui nini kinachoendelea pale. So Kalubandika anamwambia bosi, unasoma hilo gazeti kichwa chini? Bosi anamwambia, si kuwa nimegundua. Sasa bosi pale badala ya kubadilisha gazeti liangalie juu, yeye akaona yeye mwenyewe ende upside down.
Sasa akakaa upside down. Amesimama kwa kichwa. Sasa asome gazeti hilo kama amesimama kwa kichwa. Shingo lake ina nguvu. Next strength.
Na Kalubandika pale amestuka. Sema magani haya? Yapi haya?
Haya, tuchukue break. Taking time for a break on Fixing the Nation, one conversation at a time, coming to you live from Tsavo West National Park. Here we are to celebrate World Rangers Day. We are fixing it with the Rangers today and all the animals of this national park. Back shortly.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nelson. I'm from Meru. I'm a farmer both in animal and crop production. I'm fixing the nation by providing fully organic crops and animal products like milk, eggs, meat, and everything. Shout out to everyone who is doing their part in fixing the nation.
Thank you so much, Nelson, for your WhatsApp Nation video, fixing all the way from Meru, as we are fixing all the way from Taita Taveta. Tuluambia leo, we are not in studio. We are coming to you live from Taita Taveta, Tsavo West, the Mactau Gate. And in case you missed the first half, we are here because it's World Rangers Day. It's a globally recognized day every 31st of July. End of July, we're here to celebrate the men and women of service. And we're just going to be walking through to where Eric is, because there's so much activity. The Rangers have already checked in. There's a bus full of them that just passed here. And I'm looking at the program. And the one thing that I'm very excited about is the band. You know, like how we have the National Police Service band always doing their marching. Well, today we're going to be seeing the Rangers in action. As you can see behind us, that is where we are, Tsavo West National Park, the Northern Mactau Gate. And again, quite cold. I didn't expect Taita Taveta would be this cold, but tuko hapa just, braving it together with the Rangers in here. Eric is inside where the event is supposed to be happening. And of course, this is an event that will be having CS Rebecca Miano and also the Director General of the Kenya Wildlife Service and the men and women that we're going to be celebrating and appreciating today as we have conversations around the work that they do and getting to understand what their day-to-day looks like, and also expanding the conversation to matters, conservation, human-wildlife conflict, the encroachment that we keep talking about, and really what do we need to do to resolve this? Well, if you can see right behind me, this is exactly where we are. I'll be taking you through and hopefully you get to see the rest of the Rangers that are preparing to start the day. The program starts from around 11 o'clock. So we'll be fixing until 10 o'clock and then the program kicks off. Now, if you are someone who's interested in getting into this space, and if you have a question and you're watching us right now, how about you shoot it on our live stream and we'll be asking the Rangers, what is the one thing that you've always been curious about? Because sometimes it's could be making assumptions, okay, about the kind of work that they do. So shoot your questions on our live stream and we'll be engaging with them from 7 to 9 o'clock. We'll be having a mini town hall with the rangers, and then at 9 o'clock we'll be seated with CS Miano and the Director General of the Kenya Wildlife Service. Now, if you're looking in front of, well, behind me, there is where we have set up our NTV station. It takes a lot to bring on a live broadcast. And there's also the truck that is carrying quite a number of things that the Rangers are setting up for the event today. And then there's, the rest of them. We had a change of guard at around 6 o'clock. And we had them doing marches here. And it's very interesting how it's almost like you're watching the police, only that their kind of work is different. Sorry, it's a bit loud behind us because there's a generator. Ideally, all of the elements, so many moving parts to bringing you this live event. Now, if you look around, it's proper red soil. Again, one of the things, kutembea Kenya, you end up discovering so many things. As we're driving down on Mombasa Road, one of the things that I saw is just how the landscape changes, okay? How you quickly notice that we move from so much greenery to a lot of shrubland, and then now getting into these ends. Now, so much development that has happened in Taita Taveta, and the road connecting Mombasa Road from Voi, as you're coming in now to where we are, that's at the Maktau Gate, fully tarmacked, by the way. And then, as you can see, we are setting up here because men and women who we are celebrating today will be honored and celebrated. And we have, maybe I can say hi to you. Hi, good morning. How are you? Wilson Jue. Yes. Happy World Rangers Day. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
How are you feeling today?
We are excited as Rangers. Today is a big day for us in the conservation calendar. Today we've brought Rangers from all over the Tsavo landscape to celebrate together, to compliment them and to wish them all the best as they execute their mandate on wildlife conservation and tourism development within the landscape.
Let me ask you, how long have you been a ranger?
I've been a ranger for the last 18 years. 18 years. So currently I'm the senior assistant director in charge of the Tsavo region. And we've been working closely with the Kenya Wildlife Service Rangers and the community rangers. So today we are going to bring all the rangers together and we celebrate together.
What is the best part of your job?
You see, one life does not talk. We are the ambassadors of these great creatures. So when you're here and you become an ambassador of one life, and you see them thrive, and you see tourists come and enjoy what we are protecting, I feel good.
It is. I like what you said. You are the ambassadors of wildlife. They can't speak for themselves and they need people to represent them. Wilson Joe, we'll be having a chat with you and your colleagues as we get into the town hall, but Kazi Mzuri. We are also just still making our way to where we'll be having this event. Like I mentioned, today is World Rangers Day, globally recognized day, celebrated every last 31st July, the last day of July. And we are seeing a setup that is happening here, a couple of motorbikes that have been put up. Again, making an assumption that this will be to celebrate the Rangers today. Now, let me tell you, the theme of today is Rangers, Guardians of a Changing Planet. And, conversations around conservation, environmental degradation, and what needs to happen is a conversation that's been had long over the years. But to see the people who actively are on the ground in terms of just making sure that we are sustaining the ecosystem of our wildlife, our parks, is something that will be happening today. And again, to the work that it's invisible work, if you think about it, right? That a lot of times our engagement is either as tourists. When you go and visit a park, you never quite realize what it takes to take care of the animals and that ecosystem. So today, celebrate a ranger somewhere. Maybe share what some of your favorite parks are and what the good work you have seen that is being done across those parks. Now, we're just getting to where we are having the event. And I don't know if you all can see Latif. He's somewhere there. And I didn't bring a lion with me, but we said today we are here to have big conversations with not only the rangers, but also with the animals. And I want you guys to guess, what is my favorite animal? 10 marks. Yeah, I don't know. Latif needs to tell me what his favorite animal is. But Latif, what's your favorite animal? And please don't tell me the lion.
My favorite animal. What would it be?
Of August. Are you
I was
Leo?
born on the 17th of August. What
You
would
can
my
be that
favorite
obvious.
animal therefore
You
be?
cannot be that obvious.
Sasa nini ingine? I mean, the stars were aligned. I mean, I was meant to be, loving the lions. Thank you very much for that. We've just seen all the rangers out there. They're preparing themselves. We've seen Wilson Jue, the boss of the park here. And of course, we'll be speaking to him and all the other rangers. Let's sample some of what the fixers are saying. Wako hapa kwa wengi. Collins Kimtai anasema, what I know, Tsavo have many elephants as you head to Mombasa. That's true. I'm looking at another new view of the same morning. Yes, Minchoras, that's true. Bibi Usuni, good morning fixers wenzangu. Kumekucha salama, tunashukuru Mungu. Nawatakia Ijumaa njema nyote, asante sana. The Kikombe has checked in reading presidential speeches to enthusiastic wildlife. For $1 billion Kenya shillings, you can build a structure like the ICEA Lions Center.
Oh, wow.
Yet what we hear is that 3 billion shillings of our taxes is stolen daily. Aworo!
Ay.
Ay.
Inauma.
Inauma ni gumu.
Painful.
Saikina ni gumu. Saikina ni gumu. Stephen, consider the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. Good morning, Eric and Flaris. Collins Kimtai says, welcome to the weekend. It's unfortunate that areas within Nairobi have no CCTV. And someone can commit a crime and escape just like that. That one. Unavile. Joy Rusha anauliza, fixers, mnahutubia hyenas.
And others.
We see what you're doing there. We see what you're doing. Now that the hyena has been in the conversation this week, we have decided to bring the conversation to the hyenas.
Yeah.
Okay?
Let's hear what the hyena has to say.
Yeah, let's hear what the hyena itself has to say. Is the hyena happy to be likened to some people? Still Mike the one. May your heart find refuge in God today. When you feel weak, may He be your strength. When you feel uncertain, may He be your guide. And when you feel alone, know that God loves you and always.
I love that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But 3 girls, fellow Kenyans, what am I even saying? God bless Kenya.
Nyinyi si watu wazuri.
Watu ni wabaya hii Kenya.
You people are not good people.
Watch out, Baba 3 girls. Jikimando. What was that presidential address all about? He could have just sent a press statement to the media and asked us to wait for August 12th.
That's it.
That's what Jikimando is saying. While at it, can he account for the 4 years in power? Before talking of 2060. He is now moving from in 6 months' time to in 34 years' time. Hey. Commando, boy. You know what? You know what? Just be easy. In fact, on that note, let's look at what else is in the papers because we only have a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Tuingie chapchapu kwenye Business Daily.
Business Daily haina mambo mingi leo. Iko na hapa Uganda revives stalled CEO hiring at KPC. We know Uganda has veto power when it comes to this key decision and key position. Then we also have the striking nurses and midwives. This is something that started the day before yesterday. More pain for patients as nurses join protests. Tika headlines. We have former Treasury CS that's Jugona Ndogo has described President William Ruto's leadership style as a one-man show, overshadowing independent institutions. And that ran on the news yesterday. And also we have 2 funds that allow investors to buy gold. And top global firms like Nvidia and Apple at the NSE have made returns of up to 24% in the past year.
Wow.
It's been a good year at the Securities Exchange.
Wow.
And the person in the boss talk today is Biju Sangrajka. Kenya. And that's on page 2. Jane Kisero on page 9. Mrima Hill in Kwale County represents Kenya's entry into the Premier League of Global Strategic Resources.
Yes. Yes, Mrima Hills has a lot. Trying to go Daily Nation.
Yes.
Daily Nation, the big one is Ruto's roadmap. It has 4 pointers. Ahead of next year's general election, the president is rooting for an ambitious development charter. The president said a national conversation on Kenya's future beyond Vision 2030 will be launched on the 12th of August. He hopes the people-driven economic blueprint will transcend electoral cycles and governments. The fourth wave of global economic transformation must benefit Kenya. That's what the president said in his speech yesterday. A year to the next election, the incumbent's record is under sharp scrutiny. Also on the front page, Kalonzo Sifuna 2027 talks begin. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and Senator Edwin Sifuna, who have been ranked in opinion polls as the leading contenders for the opposition presidential ticket, are promising to forge a broad coalition to win power in next year's election. Then we also have a story of a doctor murdered in a taxi, had earlier fled from gunman. We had that story also last night. Ex-minister claims president is too controlling. His stories go up on front page. Let's start with Ruto's roadmap. Well, he spoke yesterday.
Yes.
We also saw the speech. Let's actually sample some of what the president said last night, and then we come back and review what he said. Ruto's special national address to the nation last night. This is what he said from what he aired last night on NTV.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is not a theoretical discourse. The decisions we make today will determine whether our Constitution becomes the greatest instrument of our national transformation in our history, or the greatest opportunity we missed. The defining task of our generation, therefore, is to forge a shared national development charter that translates constitutional aspirations into deliberate action, measurable progress, and lasting national transformation. This is how constitutional ideals become possibilities. This is how rights become opportunities. This is how aspirations become achievement. And this is how prosperity becomes lived reality.
So that's what the president was saying, part of what he said. It was a long speech where he started off, with saying, this is where we've come from, this is what Vision 2030 was all about. We are at that moment. Vision 2030 is coming to an end.
Yes.
What did you make of the speech?
I think, one, if you're to just listen, that was a statesman speaking, correct? But could it have been a little bit simplified because he's speaking to the people of Kenya, not technocrats? Absolutely. I think there was an opportunity there to bring in people and make the conversation a little bit more palatable. Because when you hear Kenya being likened to China, to Singapore, to Vietnam, the comparisons are good, no problem. But then again, what are we doing? It's always good to, again, throw in and invoke some of these developed countries from where they came from. But are we actually recognizing what it is we are probably getting wrong? Would have been good to also hear where we maybe missed the mark with 2030, even before we get into this. But from, again, just listening to the president, absolutely statesman.
I also actually felt it when he began, because the president, the president's speech is usually like in paragraphs. It was 75 points, right? When he began and he was going through it, because we all knew that he was coming to talk about the next thing, the next development phase of Kenya and Vision 2030. And I saw a president who's now acting as a statesman, who's coming to say, look, guys, we have a common agenda and a common dream. We dreamt it when we had Vision 2030. It's coming to an end. We need to think of going forward. And then he set the example of others who've done it. When he was giving the examples of Vietnam from the 90s and where they are right now, talking about the South Korea, talking about China and what they did, talking about other countries even in the continent, Ghana and Zimbabwe, I heard and I was seeing this is what the president is saying, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
It actually does make sense to me that we need to have this kind of conversation of what are we going to do about our country going forward.
Yeah.
And this transcends his presidency, this transcends political parties, political affiliations.
Yeah.
This is for us as a people and our future. Okay?
Yeah.
At that point, I was feeling this is actually a statement
Yeah.
that will be reviewed going forward. But when he started now going back into, he started now going around Article 3 of the Constitution, Article 43 of the Constitution, Article 42, the expectations, this and the other. I think he oversold the point.
Yeah.
He could have just said, guys, we had Vision 2030. It's coming to an end.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a new vision and we need to dream together jointly of our new country going forward.
Yeah.
This conversation, I'm going to launch it from the 12th of August, where all of us as a people will now start thinking. And I urge all of you to think what you'd like the Kenya to look like going forward. I like what you're saying. There's some young Kenyan today who is not even understanding that I'm the president and I'm speaking.
Yeah.
But in a few years' time, that Kenyan will be looking back into this speech
Yes.
to see what we did in August 2026. He should have just ended it there.
Yeah.
He went on, and I think he doubled on. And people now just, from that point on, you veer off.
Yeah, you veer off and you disconnect. There was a simpler way of communicating all of that.
Yeah.
It is important that we see our president not just when the politics are being applied, but when such addresses are very important because the economics of this country and the economy of this country are center stage. On all the conversations we are talking about, change this, change that, this is what the people need, and whatnot.
Vision 2030 is coming to an end.
Yeah.
Fact. We need to dream of the next thing that we do. Fact. Whatever we dream, we need to think beyond the current Ruto, Gachagua, Kalonzo, Sifuna. Fact. We need to think, what is it that we want to do as a country? Those are facts. Should have just ended it there. Also, I don't know why he chose to do it on the 30th of July. I mean, what was he giving us 12 days notice? Was it like, sending board papers? Was it like, why yesterday?
The timing actually is, there's what ends up being public discourse on the choice of timing.
Why yesterday?
Because the politics have been hot, Eric. The principals from the other parties and the other aspirants, would-be aspirants, have been were very vocal yesterday.
Yeah.
So is that the day you want to come out as president and also just stand your ground and show people that, listen, yes, with all of this that is happening, I'm working.
So huku hayo kijiri, let's just hear what Sifuna and Kalonzo said yesterday as they met.
Yes.
Right? Sifuna, Kalonzo met and they were talking about forging a united front as they go forward into the next election. Let's listen.
That we are going to unite. We have no option. All of us who love this country so dearly, who have sacrificed so much that this country can be a true democracy, not a dictatorship, not a kleptocracy, not a gangster regime, not a gangsterism, which is what it is today. So I want to tell Mr. William Ruto, please stop. Stop imagining that one Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka can ever join you. We'll meet at the ballot.
They want to see one team united as the people who believe that President William Ruto does not deserve a second term. We must preach the unity of the opposition. And it's a unity that is based on certain values. And I'm coming to that as our second agenda here today, is to try to build consensus amongst the leadership of the opposition as to what they view is important to the people of Kenya at this particular moment in time.
Tell Kenyans why you have made Kenya worse than Haiti, a nation of goons. Why have you made the National Police Service to be synonymous with goonism? Why are you persecuting the people of Kenya using police and goons? They also want you to tell them tonight that ya kwamba ukishindwa next year, hutatoa fujo, you will accept defeat and agree to go to Sugoi.
Including Kalonzo Musyoka, Edwin Sifuna, and also you've heard from Rigiji, who was speaking ahead of that and saying, Mr. President, you should not even be telling us about Vision 2036. Tell us about what you've done so far.
Wow.
Something else that came out yesterday was the former Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and Economic Planning, Professor Njogona Ndongo, who was a former two-term governor of the Central Bank, also spoke about his time at the National Treasury working under President William Ruto.
Yes.
And it's important to actually introduce this way. Professor Njogona Ndongo was among the team of economic advisors for the Ruto presidential campaign. Okay?
Yes.
And then he served as his first Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury.
Correct.
Who, you could say, put in all these structures that moved the country towards, stabilizing the microeconomics and so on and so forth.
Correct.
But Professor Njogona Ndongo says Ruto micromanages. He's overbearing. He overruns every state department. So even the technocrats would like to do their work, just don't do the right thing. They just do what the Ruto thing.
That coming from him is something that was met with a lot of shock. And I also, those statements you take with a grain of salt. This one, yes, applying that, but at the same time, actually listening to what he has to say, because what does the man have to lose? Or what does he have to gain?
Let's listen to what Professor Njogona Ndongo said. Yeah.
Corruption, and I even used to say that poverty, everywhere you see poverty, is an institutional failure problem. Then you go down to diagnose what is the institutional failure problem here coming from. And then one of the things about corruption is actually to rob what actually could have been used by the populace. It is covered by the institutional failure problem is somebody wants to overrun the institution. Right now, I don't mind even if I'm quoted, right now, the current president overruns all the institutions. And that is why everybody in those institutions will have to conform for fear. I served as a central bank governor under President Mwai Kibaki. And all of a sudden, there was no talk about corruption because the few corruption cases that came, they were not, even before they were taken to court, there was naming and shaming. And all of a sudden, everything went quiet. I would not have succeeded with M-Pesa, for example, if it was a different regime. And I've seen it. There is a Minister of Finance who even almost stopped M-Pesa. It's only that I reminded him that the central bank is independent and you cannot direct the governor of the central bank. But even having said that, because the big banks were fighting, I had to go down and do what he wanted. I refused to do deals in the Ministry of Finance. I can't do deals. I know. It follows you to your grave. It doesn't go away with the regime, by the way. There are people who are my friends, they were caught up in some of those things, including in the central bank. And even by the time they died, they were still being followed by those things. The cases were not concluded because it becomes a major punishment. Now, it's only capacity at the individual level and the institutional level that can give you that courage to say no because you know it will follow you. Regimes change and rules of the game change. And that is one of the biggest lessons.
There was mixed reaction to what Professor Njogona Ndongo was saying. There are those who said, yes, when he says this, somebody who's an insider says this, somebody who's saying what people have been feeling for a while, it's actually validating what people have been saying. Another saying, suddenly,
all of a sudden.
Njogona, suddenly you are very clever.
Very clever, very clever. It's like what? And it tells you how people have now gotten to that point where you do not fully trust that people can come bearing the truth. And actually it could be true that you're not looking to gain something out of it. It's like, so now, why now? It's like people are now scrutinizing this and that's why I said with a grain of salt. It's good that this information is coming out. How does it serve the public? How does it benefit anyone? We don't know, and why now?
I think it's okay for people to just, you're reflecting on your time and what's happening. Say it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are so fond of shooting that, shoot the messenger, shoot the message, shoot. But let's take the message.
Let's take the message,
and
exactly.
Let's see, what do we do with this message?
Yeah.
Right? Can it be verified? If we had a functioning parliament, a parliament that is functioning with some semblance of a spine,
yeah,
then what Professor Njuguna Ndung'u said would have ended found its way in Parliament,
Correct.
where Parliament can summon anybody at any time. They could summon the Professor Njuguna Ndung'u and tell him, come and tell us, give us more of what you're saying. Because indeed, in a serious kind of democracy and all, if these are true, and he goes on to say, I refused to do deals, he's implying a lot.
Yes.
He's implying that the president is the one who dictates what happens, and I refused to do deals, which also could imply why I was dropped from the cabinet, which, what are you implying?
Yeah.
That the president forces people to do deals? That is something that's so serious, it's an impeachable thing.
And
if we had a parliament, they should be investigating such kind of thing.
Exactly. And, just as we're about to take a break, by the way, these are the utterances of Langata MP, Jalango, who went on to actually then admit that, people were paid for the impeachment.
Walikula kakitu.
Again, walikula kakitu. And this is, we've seen this coming from different persons that sit within that house. So, yes, true to what you said, Eric, is if we had a properly functioning parliament, all of these things would not just be parroted and left to hang with the public. It would be, yes, you said it, no problem, come present it to this house because there has to be consequences to it. Well, today is World Rangers Day.
Yep.
We are about to take a break. We'll be back in conversation with the people we are celebrating today, the Rangers themselves.
Rangers, we are live from the Tsavo West National Park at the Mactau North Gate. Here is where the Rangers are. And we'll be speaking to them shortly after this. And you can see they're seated, but they'll not be seated like that, actually, like in a classroom. We'll basically be seeking to understand. So, as a ranger,
yes,
are you like the police of animals?
Can you arrest?
Like Simba kuja hapa, leta kitambulisho. Unaenda wapi? Wewe ni Simba wapi? Wewe ni Simba ya Amboseli. Umekuja kufanya nini hapa Tsavo? Rudi.
Wewe ni Simba Marara.
Wewe ni Simba. Simba Marara?
I had you had conflict with who? Come, let's mediate.
Wewe ndio Pumba. It's 7 a.m. Keep it here for more conversations coming up.